The ever-growing world of Formula One is preparing for some massive shakeups on the grid, with the biggest names being George Russell and Max Verstappen. However, with Vettel's comeback being a frequent topic as well, what should we expect ahead of the first year in the new regulations? And more importantly, what will the two seats of Cadillac look like now that Bottas has been very outspoken about a potential comeback? A driver who hasn't shied away from speaking his mind is Valtteri Bottas, but for all the right reasons. The 10-time race winner has been linked to a return to Formula One ever since he retired from the sport, and the best chance he has is with Cadillac. The American squad is offering 2 seats up for grabs, and at least one of them is supposed to be for a veteran. Bottas fulfills all of the criteria. He is a proven race winner. He didn't miss a Q3 appearance from 2017 to 2021 with Mercedes, and he has 3 years of experience with Ferrari engines. Even the Finn couldn't resist all the pressure that's been created around Cadillac, which is why he released a video of himself subtly talking about a free seat in an SUV made by the American company. He had opportunities to go elsewhere, such as NASCAR or WEC, but similar to other F1 drivers who were chasing their place under the sun, he decided to remain in F1 in any form available. That form was as a reserve driver in Mercedes and helped Antonelli catch up with everything he could. But now that a full-time driving position is available, Bottas will definitely use it in his favor. The second seat in Cadillac is yet to be decided, and the general belief is that the American squad will follow in the footsteps of Audi, a veteran driver and a youngster with tons of potential. With this in mind, it's highly likely that Mick Schumacher or Felipe Drugovich will be considered for the seat. Of course, it takes away from Perez's bid, who is also extremely popular in the US and has a proven race-winning record. But we cannot speculate on this one. We might as well look at a lineup of Bottas and Perez. Both of them are still far from the 40-year mark and could provide vital experience for Cadillac in the next couple of seasons. Another very interesting story is Max Verstappen. As the 4-time world champion, he holds all of the keys in his hand regarding the big dog game with the front-runners. Mercedes is unwilling to offer Russell a new contract before they are 100% sure that Verstappen will remain in Red Bull. It's something that has been recognized by Russell as well, saying that there are no hard feelings when the best driver on the grid is available. Technically, Max has a contract until 2028, but there are clauses that could see him exit it early, such as the car not being nearly as competitive as he'd like. And this is precisely what Mercedes is looking to bank on, turmoil in Red Bull that could see Verstappen out sooner rather than later. In that case, Wolff won't think twice about giving him a lucrative offer, and it would come at the cost of George Russell. Antonelli is still a rookie and has proven the speed and unbruised talent. But as for Russell, 3 doesn't fit into 2. Although the Brit welcomed his team to sign Verstappen as his teammate, it seems like he is the one who is going to fall on the sword if such a move is prompted by Mercedes and Verstappen. Toto Wolff has spoken about the preference he has with his drivers, sending a fierce warning to both Russell and Antonelli, but a bit more to Russell because his contract is yet to be renewed. Elaborating on this, the Austrian said, "There are other people who are part of your success. And how I've been managing this from the first day that I've been in Formula One is that I make no difference between the 2 drivers and the rest of the company. I've been telling them that there are 2,500 superstars on this team. Whether they work in the machine shop, in the cleaning, in aerodynamics, or driving the car, I'm not going to treat you any differently than any of the other people. If you are selfish and you put our joint success at risk or you damage our brand, then I'm going to be ruthless about it. You have no part in this team." So quite logically, we need to talk about George Russell's future too. The current Mercedes driver reportedly had talks with Christian Horner about situations that are out of their control, which would include Mercedes and Max making a contractual obligation. If this happens, Russell would be left on his own. And a team that is highly interested in him is Aston Martin. There have been a lot of reports from the Silverstone-based squad who are now seeing Russell as the pillar of their future success under the newly regulated era. And it's very logical to think about it too. If you cannot bring Verstappen to your camp, then you go for the second best available driver out there. Leclerc's rumors about leaving Ferrari were squashed down pretty quickly, and now we're left with a potential collaboration between Aston Martin and George Russell. It's highly unlikely that this will be a downgrade for George's career. We can't forget how big of a progress Aston Martin made behind closed doors. New facilities, new staff, and making a new technical partner are just part of those moves. On top of that, they signed Honda as their exclusive engine partner from 2026 onwards. So all of the ingredients that Red Bull had are now part of the Silverstone-based squad. And if you were to ask Russell, He isn't worried about the upcoming season. Yes, he prefers to be with Mercedes, but not by all means. Addressing the future with Mercedes and how Max's situation affects it, Russell said, "No, the future is not certain. I'm not talking with anybody else, and any teams who have shown interest. I have been quite open to saying my intentions are to stay with Mercedes. That's always been clear. And I am loyal to Mercedes. They gave me this chance to get into Formula One. There haven't been any hard feelings with any of the talks that have been going around, especially around Max. Because like I said numerous times, why wouldn't teams be interested in Max if everybody could sign him?" Another driver who is very likely to make an F1 debut sooner rather than later is Arvid Lindblad. Red Bull put him through the first testing of F1 cars under TPC in Imola, and the results have really impressed them so far. What this means is that they'll facilitate the process of promoting the youngster to Racing Bulls, which spells bad news for Yuki Tsunoda.